Oh, you scared the shit out of me. Come on over, man. Come on over. You're here. You might as well come on in. All right. Thank you, folks, for showing up, signing up. Thank you, by the way, the ones that came over and signed up on the new channel. I appreciate that, too. Still, get this one still dying, so I know some people would thumb that up. Speaking of the thumbs downers, there's some of the haters have followed us over to the new channel. Thank you for that, haters. Suit yourself, chubby. Anyways, this video is going to be about cracks in your guitar finish, how to get rid of them. Some guitars, like this one here, I'm finally getting around to finishing the frets on my guitar, my own guitar. It's been laying here waiting. You remember when I put new frets in it and did everything except the sanding, or erasering in this case. Anyways, this video is about cracks in your finish. They're annoying to look at. This guitar, I was going to say, the whole top of it is shattered. There's no way to fix that. The only way you fix this guitar is strip the top and refinish it all again, all over completely, because it's just shattered. It looks like shattered glass. But that's not what I'm talking about in this video. I'm talking about in this video tiny little like hairline cracks in your finish, or maybe a little bigger than that, that annoy the crap out of you every time you pick your guitar up. You're, holy shit, it's getting worse. You know, those kind of cracks. Well, you can fix them, man. You can do it right at your own home yourself. I'm not going to show you in this video how to do it, because I got a bunch of videos showing you already. The reason I'm even making this video is because two people on Facebook, actually a bunch of people in a group on Facebook was talking about this. And I was reading the comments, and one guy said, go ask Randy. So I'm going to save you the trouble of asking me and just tell you right now. And like I say, you can search this channel for guitar finish cracks or whatever, and those videos should come up. Some of them, maybe all of them will, I don't know. But you can fix those. If you don't fix them, a lot of times moisture gets in those cracks, and polish, wax, finger oil, skin oil, that stuff gets in there eventually, and it does terrible things to your guitar. It'll get under the finish, the existing finish that's cracked. Now, we're not talking about big cracks in the wood here. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about tiny little cracks, minute cracks in the finish only, not in the wood. I got videos on cracks in the wood too, if you want to look that up. I got videos on everything, man. So, the way I go about these little cracks, fixing them, and they need to be fixed, because like I say, stuff's going to get in there, and if it's like a dent, it usually just grows. It gets bigger over time. As stuff gets in there, more finish lets go, and the finish starts to peel off and peel up around the crack, or the dent, or whatever. You can fix dents this way too, drop fills. Usually what I do, if it's a little crack like that, only in the finish, I use a very thin viscosity CA glue. Now, that glue is thinner than water. It will run places water will not go, man. If you put it in one of those tiny little cracks, it will even run back under the old finish, this existing finish. It'll run into the fibers, and it'll just secure everything and seal it. That's the main important point, is that it's sealed. It has got to be sealed, man, to keep all those elements I just mentioned out of getting, ruining your guitar. It'll get bad eventually if you leave it long enough and you play the guitar and actually take it out and use it and polish it. Stuff's going to get in there, and you'll know it. I mean, you're going to be able to see it grow over time. Get you some thin, very thin viscosity CA glue. I used this number 10 glue from StuMac. Yeah, I know it's expensive there, but what are you going to do, man? If you want the best, you got to pay for it. I always said that. That goes with guitars too. And get you some of these wee little, they're just tips. I think you can see them. They go in your glue bottle, and this allows you to distribute a very tiny bit of glue and accurately place it where you want the glue to go. Unless you shake like I do. It's almost impossible to do then. Anyways, take that thin viscosity CA glue and just drip it along the crack. You might get some of this rubber tape. It's a made by 3M, and it's a vinyl tape. Sometimes you can tape on both sides of the crack, and that glue supposedly don't stick to the tape. They say nothing will stick to it. And I've never had anything stick to it. And believe me, I've tried everything with Earl here. But, you know, you don't have to use the tape. You can if you're worried you might get it all over the face of the guitar or whatever. Take one of those little pipettes, or whatever they're called, and, you know, you can see it, man. When you drop it on a crack in the finish, you can see it just hit and just like kind of evaporate. It's not evaporating, it's soaking down in to the wood fibers. And like I say, it will run under the finish there. You may have to, you know, put it on there, let it dry, let it cure, come back, put it on there again until you get it built up, where the crack is actually built up, you know, higher than the surface of the wood, the finish, the top, you know what I mean? Not very much higher, but a little bit. Then you see me take a razor blade, and all this, every bit of this stuff I'm telling you, I've got videos on, if you want to search for that stuff. Take a razor blade, drag it over a piece of metal, create a burr on the end of the edge, tape both sides of the razor blade, leave only exposed in the middle what you need to scrape the crack you're working on. And you can scrape that crack down, that glue down, until you can hardly even see it, or in most cases you can't see it at all. Now you can use sandpaper and sand that area, and, you know, work up in grits, so blend it in, work bigger areas as you blend it, so you don't see your work at all. And recently I've been using, on guitar finish, get this, fret erasers. You got to be careful with those. If you use these to sand your guitar finish with, they work, but I would recommend starting with the very highest grit you got. Because even a high grit, I think I got an 8,000 here, and it digs in more than you'd think it would to be 8,000 grit. So just be careful if you use erasers. That's the main way that I seal those cracks up. Basically all you're doing is sealing the finish, sealing the wood, and making the guitar look a lot better and increasing its chance of living longer under being beautiful, if that makes any sense at all. Wow. If it's a lacquer finish and it's a tiny crack, you can actually take a little micro brush, well, you know what a brush, tiny little brush, and use lacquer thinner. Dab a little on the brush and just paint along where the crack is in your finish. That lacquer finish will melt the lacquer on your guitar on the top, and it'll melt it back together. You still probably maybe have to take a razor blade to it, or sandpaper, or erasers if you're into that. But that's three options of ways of, you know, sanding it down, making it look like, but blending it in with the rest of the finish around it. That's why I say, however you do it, get a little bit bigger than the crack each time. If I use say if I used a 2,000 grit eraser and I'm working in a tiny little spot, well, the next one I want to use in line is that I have is a 4,000 grit. I'm going to work a little bit bigger area with that one. Then what's next? 8,000 grit. Work a little bit bigger area that way. Then polish the guitar and look at it. And, you know, if you do that right, take your time. Don't get in a hurry, man, because you really screw up trying to hurry. That's true with just about all this stuff, though. You know, repairing guitars and working on guitars. I don't do finishing anymore. I used to do that, and my buffer machine blew up a while back, and then my brush, one of my best one I had, blew up. Blew all the shit, blew red paint all over the building up there. If you was here, you saw it because I showed it on the video. It was a mess. And I've got two more, but I wouldn't trust them to do guitar tops, you know, finish and spray and finish with those. So I figured piss on that for a while. I never replaced the buffer, and in fact I gave it away a while back. What was left of it needs a motor. It's going to need bearings too pretty soon. Anyways, I gave it away. And I haven't replaced the airbrush yet. I don't know if I probably never will. I don't know. I might down the road. The only finish work, though, that I do now is just like those little cracks I was telling you about. And I was reading in Facebook about those guys talking about it. Thought it's pretty cool. That one guy said, well, ask Randy. And the funny thing was, everybody in that group knew who he was talking about. Wow. I must be getting a little bit of, well, not seniority. What's the word, man? I'll put it in here if I ever think of it. That's another thing that goes when you get old. You get in the sights of 70 years old, if you live to be that long. Yeah, That didn't even sound right. But if you live to be near 70, you'll start noticing, well, you won't start then, you'll already be noticing stuff a long time before that, I guarantee. That's if you're a really healthy person, like I was. Well, I guess I still am. Anyways, keep those things in mind. Get some CA glue, very thin viscosity as you can possibly find. Get sandpaper, if you want to use sandpaper. I would suggest, you know, a lot of grits from rough up to very, very smooth as you can get. Or get these erasers, and you know, they work. Get your razor blade, some 3M Scotch tape, and you're set. You yourself can fix all those cracks in your guitar finish before too much crap gets in there and it starts to eat away and get bigger and uglier and worse and make you sicker every time you open your guitar case and see it. You know, I've been there and done that, man. You live to be as old as I am. You've been there and done a lot of things. Not that I'm bragging or proud. I'm just saying it happens. So anyways, good luck with that. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks again for all of you that came over to the new channel. I hope this video helps you. I don't know when, or even if I do, start posting full time over there and, you know, drop it here. They've slowed down here big time. I'm sure you noticed that. They'll probably get slower if YouTube keeps their shit up the way they've been doing, man. Because, you know, I'm not going to bust my ass making videos the way I have for 10 years now and them turning it off, you know. I'm not going to do it. I mean, the channel, obviously, it looks like it's doomed. So, you know, why continue making videos here when I can already on the other channels getting more traffic than this big one is? Already, man. Anyways, thank you guys for subscribing. I've bitched enough. I'll see you next time.
Woo! The boogity ball.